Let's talk about Cougars attacking younger men. Let's talk about it. Thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, and the subscribe button is the bell icon button. Hit all notification, increase your chance, get notification. So not only do you have, the women that they say are starting to hit the wall around 35 and up. That's kind of started when you talk about high-risk pregnancy. A lot of those women tend to got their education, independent, been divorced, never had kids. And then you also got the competing pool of younger women. All right? So you got the younger women, then you got the women that's right about to start hitting the wall, and then you got the women that's 40 and above, now all competing for the same dudes. Think about that for a minute. They competing for the same guys. So now, when they talk about it's not a lot of eligible black men in the black community, okay? That's what they're saying. It's not a bunch of eligible black men. Incarceration, homosexuality. And what's funny about it is they never talk about how, they be like, well, it's way more black women. But you ever notice they say it's not, but they never talk about how many eligible black women are here, because they figure that black men is going to take the fat ones, the prison reform hoes or women. They figure that we going to take anything we can get. Think about that for a minute. Our standards are so low, we going to take the bisexual, the woman. You know what I'm saying? We're going to take the woman with the kids. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of dudes, and I think a lot of people kind of get it confused, where a lot of those guys mess with those different women, but they won't cuff them. But they never talk about how a black man looks at women, how he filters through the women. And people might be like, what do you mean? Just like how they filter through men, or how they be so picky, and it's not that many eligible dudes. You got to make six figures. You got to be above 6 feet. And a lot of that shit kind of be a lie. But I've ran into women that say, oh, if you wasn't this tall, or you wasn't this, that, and the third. And women have become very picky. And then with these lot of black women that's becoming picky real quick, before we get into the video, they still end up picking wrong. And the pickier they are, the more they don't have their shit together. They gotta wear all this makeup on the date. They over 200 pounds. Think about, they said the average black woman weigh about 200 to 220, well, around 220 pounds. That's a lot of women. Think about that for a minute. So think about the dudes that's really marrying for, that's really looking to date for seriously. They ain't gonna take what they can get. They'll fuck with a, heavier girl, or they'll mess with a girl just because it's convenient, but they ain't gonna cuff it. Or they don't have no plans on marrying it. You know what I'm saying? So once you start going through the pool like dudes filter out women too. Just because we have sex with you don't mean we gonna make a commitment to you. You know what I'm saying? So that's the crazy thing about it. Yeah, that's the crazy thing about it, where women get it twisted at. They confuse for a dude hitting it. They confuse it for actually wanting a commitment. But now I say all that, so the pool even got smaller. Once you say now you got 40-year-old, you welcome 40-plus-year-old women into the dating pool. Think about that. Now you got 40-year-old women in the dating pool. Think about that. And what's so funny about it is this: many of the women that's choosy and picky, these be the same hoes on the dating app, looking for love on the dating app, because most of these women don't have no game to walk up to a dude, or most of these women don't want to say that they gonna turn around and they gonna change their preferences. So think about that for a minute. A lot of these women, they be settling, bro. And now they gonna have to get to selling even more, because now the Cougars are now trying to compete with the women that's hitting the wall and the younger women. And one thing about the cougar, you know, the older women, they gonna throw some bread. They gonna finesse the dude and thinking this is how you need to be treated, right? They box gonna be clean. They can wear white panties and white drawers. They know how to take care of each other. They ain't gonna be stressing a nigga about where he at and all that type of shit off the rip. They gonna make it a very comfortable place because they know exactly what makes a man, what they need to do to get a man and make him comfortable. And if they understand once a man get comfortable with you and get used to you, it's gonna be hard for him to leave unless you just take him through crazy amount of shit. So they know how to make it comfortable. When you start saying, well, 35-year-old women around that age should too. No, they don't. They want to sit here and they really, a lot of them women just really want to fuck. And that's what the Cougars want to do. They want to have a bunch of sex. But the thing about that with them, the women where the shot clock is dwindling down, and the women that starting to hit the wall at 35 around that age, they be talking like, oh yeah, man, I want to get married. We need to move in. They be talking like that shit soon because they know they time running out to get married and find a suitable mate. You know, and they know they gonna end up like the cougar, you know, or the cougar who got divorced, who never had a marriage, you know, who they got kids. They know they gonna end up like them, just, you know, somebody that's a sex fetish. So now, not only do you got younger women competing for a smaller pool of men, black men, now you got the middle-aged women, and the middle-aged and the cougar women, a lot of them, they didn't left marriages thinking there's something else out there, or, you know what I'm saying, they could have married people and they've been very, very picky and choosy to who they marrying, and now they all competing. They all competing. So now you got a larger amount of women who's competing for a smaller pool of men. A lot of y'all ain't think of it that way. So when you continue to actually think about it from that aspect point of view, right? Then also you got guys choosing to get their passport and divest from taking American women serious altogether. You know what I'm saying? And then you got guys that divested it and only mess with white girls. You know? Or mess with non-black women. So the pool is shrinking faster and faster to find a suitable black man. So when you start to putting in 6 figures, when you start putting in, he got to be 6 this, he got to weigh at least 200 plus pounds, he got to drive this, that, like, you're never going to be happy. And then you got to ask yourself, do most of these women want to be happy? A lot of these women just like situational sips and they just want to be on the carousel. Real talk. That's it. They want to be on the carousel. A lot of these women don't want good dudes. A lot of these women, they don't want relationships. They want situationships. Because when they do find a guy that mark all that, they find something that's wrong with them. And that's another thing. Once you're dealing with the women around that 35 starting to hit the wall, they more interested like I told you, they're interested in trying to lock you into a commitment and get you locked down quick. But then in the beginning stage, they focusing on what's wrong with you. They going in, what's wrong with you? When they this is why I say 25 is a number. After 25, most of these girls used and abused. And I think that number might be a little bit high too. But that's why they tell you not to really date women above 25, because now they looking at you, what's wrong with you, what's the problem with you, and that's what they start to look at. So you got to imagine, once you get to 35 and you get to that, they stay looking at, what's wrong with you, what's the problem with you. They're looking for red flags and shit. You know what I'm saying? So that's what they really starting to look at that point. And the Cougars, they just at the point where a lot of them then got out of marriages and all that type shit, and they just want to have a good time. They want to have fun. They sex drive is starting to really reach its pinnacle. And I'm telling y'all, 35 to probably around 50 is when they sex drive start really, really going crazy. Because they know that time is running out. So now you got the Cougar going in there. She got a more calmer understanding. All right. She got all the cheat codes. She know how to cook, clean, hustle. She gonna break bread with a nigga. He gonna make a nigga feel comfortable. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, he gonna do all of that. Buy a nigga shit, make him feel like he is worth. Meanwhile, you dealing with a young chick, you gotta do everything with her. You gotta mold her, and that's cool. You can mold her until you want her to mold her, but then it's just money coming out. And you building her up for the next nigga. Then you talking about the middle-aged woman, you fighting with her. The one that's starting to hit the wall, you fighting with her. You ain't fighting to get the box, but you know she trying to test you. She trying to see where your temperament at. And once she feel like you passed the prerequisite test, she trying to lock you down and shit. And niggas really ain't got time for that. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said before, these older women, they got the cheat code. You know what I'm saying? They got a lot of them working out. A lot of them got the bag. And they, you know, and they know what it take. They know when a dude get comfortable, then they can do whatever they want to do with him. They ain't stressing the nigga where he at, you know. So they just want a nigga a dude for a good time. But really, the worst ones to date, real honestly, like if you just want to like they, you know, most black women, they all gonna bust it open. They're a very sexual group of women. You know, very sexual. So, you know, you just gotta you know, not be a weirdo, not be socially awkward. But the difficult ones to deal with is the ones right in the middle. The woman that's knowing they're about to start hitting the wall, about 28 to about 38, 39-ish. It's a wrap after that. Right around that wall, man, 38 to 28 to about 35, 36. It started, you know, them the worst ones. They want to be investigators. They know they time running out to find a suitable mate. They want to be picky for no reason and still pick the wrong niggas. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, of course, you know, and then the sex don't even be, a lot of times the sex don't even be adding up. You know what I'm saying? So really, you want to go younger or damn near want to go older, because right in that middle spot, that ain't the sweet spot. But yeah, that's all I had to say, man. Thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. That subscribe button is the bell icon button. Hit all notifications, increase your chance to get notifications. We go live and drop video. Financially want to support the channel. Cash App, $ CJ Good 313. Venmo CJ Good 313. Just hit the subscribe button, the bell icon button. Hit all notifications. Peace.